Hello everyone. Today, India relief features. You know well about the relief features, also called as physical features. The relief features also called as physical features. Today, we are going to discuss about the Himalayas. The Himalayas. Today, we are going to discuss about the Himalayas. The Himalayas. Okay. Let me draw the rough diagram of India to understand very clear about the Himalayas. This is a rough diagram. So from this diagram, we will learn and we can understand about the Himalayas in easy manner. This is the northernmost part, and here the seven sisters are locating in this region. Okay, this is a rough diagram of India. The Himalayas. The Himalayan ranges run in the west to east direction. The Himalayan ranges run in the west to east direction. West to east direction in the form of an arc. In the form of an arc. The Himalayas run in the west to east direction in the form of arc. In the form of an arc with a distance of about 2,400 kilometers. The Himalayas run west to east direction. West to east direction in the form of an arc. In the form of an arc. In the form of an arc. About 2,400 kilometers with a distance about 2,400 kilometers. The distance about 2,400 kilometers. 2,400 kilometers. 2,400 kilometers. The Himalayas. The Himalayas are located in the northernmost part of our country. The Himalayas run in the west to east direction in the form of an arc. About a distance 2,400 kilometers. About the distance 2,400 kilometers. About the distance 2,400 kilometers. And the Himalayas comprises three parallel ranges. So this is the first one. This is first one, and parallel to this one, the second range, the next range, and again. So this is the third. The Himalayas comprises with the three ranges. The Himalayas comprises with the three ranges. Comprises or consist or made of. These are similar. So we can say the Himalayas comprises with three parallel ranges, or the Himalayas consists of three parallel ranges, or the Himalayas made up of with three parallel ranges. Simply, we will say that these three parallel ranges together we are calling as the Himalayas. These three parallel ranges together we are calling as the Himalayas. Here the Himalayas width differs. The width differs about 500 kilometers. The width differs 500 kilometers. Width of the Himalayas. width of the Himalayas differs. Himalayas differs 500 kilometers. Differs 500 kilometers in the western region. 500 kilometers, the difference, the width difference is 500 kilometers in the western region. 500 kilometers in the western region. You can see here the width is more when coming with this the eastern and the central part of the Himalayas. Two, the width of the Himalayas differs 500 kilometers in the western region. Very important. Western region. Western region to 200 kilometers. 200 kilometers in central and eastern regions. Central and eastern regions. Eastern regions. Okay. Eastern regions. Let me once I repeat. The Himalayan ranges run in the west to east direction in the form of an arc. In the form of an arc with a distance of about 2,400 kilometers, the Himalayas comprises three parallel ranges. The Himalayas comprises three parallel ranges. Their width differs 500 kilometers in the western regions and 200 kilometers in the central and eastern regions. Here, the northernmost range is called the Himadri. The northernmost range is called Himadri or Greater Himalayas. The northernmost range is called Himadri or Greater Himalayas. The northernmost range is Himadri or Himalayas. And the range which lies south of the Himadri or Greater Himalayas. The next range or the range that lies in the southern direction from the Greater Himalayas or Himadri, this range is called as Lesser Himalayas. This range is called Lesser Himalayas. And southernmost range. The first one is northernmost range, that is called as Greater Himalayas and also called as Himadri. And the next range is Lesser Himalayas, and the third one is Shivaliks. The southernmost Himalayan range is called Shivaliks. The southernmost range is called Shivaliks. The southernmost range, this is called the Shivaliks. These three ranges together forming Mount Himalayas. These three ranges, so together forming Mount Himalayas. The Himalayas west to east in the form of an arc, the distance about 2,400 kilometers. Width of the Himalayas differs 500 kilometers in the western region to 200 kilometers in the central and eastern region. 500 kilometers in the western region and 200 kilometers difference in the central and eastern region. Central and eastern region. Now we will explore the first range, the Himalayan range. The Greater Himalayas or Himadri. And the next one we'll discuss about Lesser Himalayas, and the third one will go for here the Shivaliks. Okay, let us explore about the each mountain range. So that let me write about the Greater Himalayas. Now Greater Himalayas. Okay, children, the first and northernmost range is the Greater Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas. This is the southernmost range. Himalayas. Himalayas. Okay. The Greater Himalayas, these are the northernmost range and also called as Himadri. Also called as Himadri. Greater Himalayas also called as Himadri. Okay, just remember this, very important. The Greater Himalayas continuous and consisting of highest peaks. The Greater Himalayas continuous. The Greater Himalayas are continuous and consisting highest peaks. So we can see highest peaks in the Greater Himalayas having greater elevation. The Himalayas consists continuous and consisting of highest peaks. Average height. The average height of the Greater Himalayas 6,100 meters. The average height. Before that, so continuous and consisting highest peaks. Which is the mountain range consisting highest peaks? So that is, so Greater Himalayas consisting highest peaks. Highest peaks. Okay. Next one, the average height of Greater Himalayas. Average height 6,100 meters. The average height is 6,100 meters. This is the average height of the Greater Himalayas. Greater Himalayas. Average height 6,100 kilometers. And the seasonal cycles. Because of these seasonal cycles, the accumulation of ice and movement and melting of glaciers, so gives continuous flow. These are the main reason for the continuous flow of the Himalayan region, of the Himalayan rivers. The rivers which are starting from the Mount Himalayas, the Himalayan regions are also called as the perennial rivers. Okay, the perennial river means a river which having continuous flow. Rivers which are having continuous flow throughout the year. This continuous flow is possible because of the Himalayas. Especially in the Greater Himalayas. Movement and melting of the glaciers giving and providing continuous flow to the Himalayan rivers, also called as perennial rivers. So this is about the Greater Himalayas. All this is about the Greater Himalayas. So the Greater Himalayas also called as Himadri, and the Greater Himalayas are continuous and consisting of highest peaks. And the average height of these ranges 6,100 meters. And we can find glaciers in these Greater Himalayas. The accumulation of ice and movement and melting of the glaciers gives continuous flow to our rivers, the Himalayan rivers. So because of the continuous flow throughout the year, we are calling the Himalayan rivers as perennial rivers, also called as perennial rivers. All this is about the greater Himalayas are very important, and the greater Himalayas are composed of snow and ice cover. So composed of snow. Greater Himalayas are Himadri, composed of snow and ice cover. Snow and ice cover. Snow and ice cover. Orange, which is the range composed of snow and ice cover? That is the greater Himalayas. The greater Himalayas are composed with ice and ice cover. Ice cover. Yes. So very important. So just remember while you are reading your textbook. All this is about the greater Himalayas, or all this is about the Himadri. And now we'll move forward to the second one, which is lying in the next to the greater Himalayas, or in the southern direction to the greater Himalayas. That is called as lesser Himalayas. Okay children, so now let me discuss about the second one that is lesser Himalayas. The second one is lesser Himalayas. Second one, lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas. Second one is lesser Himalayas. So this is the part, lesser Himalayas. Have most rugged relief. This is having the lesser Himalayas having most rugged relief, hard surface, having most rugged relief. Lesser Himalayas having most rugged relief. Most rugged relief. Rugged relief. So very hard surface. Most rugged relief. And so this is a very hard surface. And the second one is, the next point is, the ranges are mostly composed of highly compressed rocks. These are composed of lesser Himalayas, composed of highly compressed rocks. Composed of highly compressed rocks. Highly compressed rocks. You know, already we discussed in the greater Himalayas or Himadri. This is composed of ice and snow cover. Snow and ice cover. Snow and ice cover. But here the lesser Himalayas are composed of highly compressed rocks. These are composed of highly compressed rocks. Highly compressed rocks. Okay. So most rugged relief, so hard surface, and the composed of this is composed of highly compressed rocks. This is composed of highly compressed rocks. And the height ranges, the height of these mountains, the height of these range, the height is ranges from, that is 3,700. Height ranges from 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. The height in the lesser Himalayas. The height of the lesser Himalayas ranges. The height ranges from 3,700 meters to 3,700 meters to here 4,500 meters. The height ranges 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. This range, in this range, the famous ranges are forming. The famous ranges are so present in this range, that is Mahabharata and Pir Panjal ranges. Mahabharata and Pir Panjal are one of the prominent ranges. That is Mahabharata range. Mahabharata range, and the next one is Pir Panjal range. Pir Panjal range. Mahabharata and Pir Panjal ranges are very important ranges which are present in the lesser Himalayas. And not only this, but also the lesser Himalayas having famous valleys. What are the famous valleys existing in the lesser Himalayas? That is Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu. These are the famous valleys. That is Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu are the famous valleys. What are the famous valleys? Famous valleys. The famous valleys are, but first one is Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu. These are the famous valleys we can find in the lesser Himalayas. And not only this, very famous hill stations also present in this region, that is lesser Himalayas. Now we will find what are the hill stations. What are the hill stations are presenting in the lesser Himalayas? The hill stations, that is Mussoorie, Nainital and Ranikhet. Mussoorie, Nainital and Ranikhet are the hill stations. The hill stations are Mussoorie, and the next one is Nainital and Ranikhet. Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet. So all these are the hill stations. All these are the hill stations, and these are the famous valleys. These valleys we can see in Himachal Pradesh. The famous valleys Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu we can find in Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh. So here, Jammu Kashmir, and this is Punjab, and so this is Himachal Pradesh. So in the Himachal Pradesh we can find the Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu. These are the different famous valleys, and the lesser Himalayas consisting with the ranges, important ranges, Mahabharata range and Pir Panjal range. Hill stations Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet. Famous valleys Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu or in the Himachal Pradesh. So this is about lesser Himalayas. This is about the lesser Himalayas, and next we'll move forward. Now next we will move forward to the southernmost mountain range. The southernmost range is Shivaliks. The southernmost range is called Shivaliks. Now we will explore about the Shivaliks. So that let me rub this here. The third one is Shivaliks. Highly compressed rocks highest ranges. The height ranges from 3,700 to 4,500. And the next one is important ranges, Mahabharata range, Pirpanjal range. And famous hill stations, Mussoorie, Nainital and Ranikhet. These are the famous hill stations which are presenting in the, so this is Lesser Himalayas. And famous valleys, so Kashmir, Kangra and Kulu. So these are in the Himachal Pradesh. We will find all these in the Himachal Pradesh. Now we'll explore the last one. So that is the Shivaliks. Okay, the third and the southernmost range, Shivaliks. Southernmost range, Shivaliks. This is the southernmost range. The first point, Shivaliks are the southernmost range. Southernmost range. This is the southernmost range. Okay. So this is the southernmost range. Extended over a width. So these are the extended. The width over 10 to 50 kilometers. The width. These are extended over a width. Extended over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers. 10 to 50 kilometers. Shivaliks extended over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers. So these are extending. And here these are the altitude is, the height is varying in between. The height of these Shivaliks is varying in between 900 to 1100. The altitude varying between 900 to 1100. Varying between 900 to 1100. 900 to 1100 meters. The height, the altitude means height of a place, height of any place. The height of any place from the sea level. Here the altitude is varying between 900 to 1100 meters. And the Shivaliks are called by different names in different places. The Shivaliks are called by different names in the different places. So called by different names. Shivaliks called by different names in different places. Different names. So different names in different places. In what way are they calling? So in what way are they calling with different names as a basis on the different places? Okay. First, now in Jammu region, so Shivaliks are called. In Jammu region, Shivaliks are called as. In Jammu region, Shivaliks are called as Jammu Hills. So Jammu Hills in Jammu region. Jammu Hills in Jammu region. Jammu Hills in Jammu region. And the next one is Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh. Mishmi Hills. So as the place is changing, the name also changing. So Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh. In Arunachal Pradesh, the Shivaliks are called as Mishmi Hills. Shivaliks are called as Mishmi Hills and Kachar Hills. Kachar Hills in Assam. Kachar Hills. Kachar Hills in Assam. Kachar or Kachar Hills. So in Assam. Kachar Hills in Assam. Kachar Hills in Assam. So Shivaliks, southernmost range, extended over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers. Altitude is varying between 900 to 1100 meters. These are called by different names in the different places. Jammu Hills in Jammu region, Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh, Kachar Hills in Assam. Kachar Hills in Assam. Now, the valleys lying between Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks. The valleys lying in between the Lesser Himalayas or Shivaliks. For example, so this is Lesser Himalayan range. This is the Lesser Himalayan range and this is Shivalik range. This is Shivalik range. The valley lying in between these two ranges. The valleys lying in between two ranges are called as dunes. The valleys lying in between Lesser Himalayas and Shivaliks are called as dunes. And here some of the prominent and important dunes are like Dehradun, Patli Dune and Kotli Dune. These are the important dunes. That is Dehradun, Patli Dune and Kotli Dune. Dunes. So important one, Dehradun, Patli Dune, Kotli Dune. These are the important dunes. Dunes, Dehradun, Patli Dune, Kotli Dune. So these are the important dunes. The easternmost boundary of Himalayas is Brahmaputra. The easternmost boundary of Himalayas. For the Himalayas, the easternmost boundary is Brahmaputra. This is called Brahmaputra river. This is entered in our India in the Arunachal Pradesh. So enter in Arunachal Pradesh and finally that is merging with the Bay of Bengal. The Brahmaputra river Brahmaputra is acting as the eastern boundary of the Himalayas. In Arunachal Pradesh, beyond Dihang Valley. So beyond Dihang Valley, here the Himalayas are taking hairpin bend to the south. The Himalayas are taking hairpin bend to the south. And then they are moving towards the south direction. And acts as the eastern boundary of India. The divisions in the Seven Sisters, as it is taking turn, as it is traveling towards the south direction in the northeast states. The northeast states are also called as Seven Sisters. What are the Seven Sisters? The Seven Sisters or seven states, that is Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. These are the seven sisters. So lying in the northeast side. so also called as northeast states of our country. So in these northeast states, the divisions of the Himalayas are called as Purvanchal. These divisions are called as Purvanchal. A very important point, Purvanchal. These divisions are called as the Purvanchal. These divisions are called as Purvanchal. Acts as eastern boundary of India. The Himalayas acts as the eastern boundary of India. The divisions in the northeast states are called as Purvanchal. The divisions in the northeast states are called Purvanchal. And these Purvanchal having different names in the different places. In the Patakai in the Seven Sisters, like in the different states, and Naga Hills in Nagaland, Manipuri Hills in Manipur, Mizo Hills in Mizoram. So like different names. So will be been calling in the in this region. So that is for the Purvanchal. And now, how the Himalayas are influencing the climate of India. How the Himalayas are influencing the climate of India. In what way the Himalayas are influencing the climate of India? Is really the Himalayas are influencing the climate of India? Yes, the Himalayas are influencing the climate of India. The Himalayas are acting as barriers, natural barriers. The Himalayas are acting as barriers and stopping. The Himalayas are protecting our country by stopping cold winds which are coming from the Central Asia during the severe winters. These are protecting us from the cold winds which are coming from the Central Asia during the severe winters. And these are the reason for the summer rains. And these are the reason for the monsoon type of rains. So, and next one here, these as the rivers, the Himalayan rivers are flowing from the Himalayas. So the Himalayas are the major source to make continuous flow throughout the year, so that they are forming perennial rivers. As the perennial rivers are flowing through the Himalayas, these are depositing fine alluvium and silt, which is very useful for the growth of the crops. The Himalayas, because of the Himalayan rivers, the alluvium and fine silt is depositing, so that they are making fertile the northern plains of India, which is leading to the, which is encouraging in the production of the food. So these are the uses of Mount Himalayas. So this is, today we discussed about India relief features. Among the different relief features, among the different physical features, we have discussed the Himalayas. The Himalayas. So all this is about the Himalayas. Okay, children, if you have any doubt, anything, just ask me in comment section. Definitely I will reply for you. Definitely I'll give reply in the comment section, and your doubts will be resolved. Please keep watching and please subscribe, and please comment, share and subscribe.